Have you ever wondered why some people just get it? You know, they can persuade, they can lead, and they just seem to do it all so easily. Well, for over 80 years, one book has pretty much been the secret guide for millions. So today, we're going to unlock the core of Dale Carnegie's timeless method for winning friends and influencing people. All right, let's get into it. So Carnegie's entire philosophy really starts right here with this one idea. We all make this huge mistake where we try to win people over with logic. But here's the thing. We're not logical beings. Not really. We are emotional beings who just use logic to justify what our hearts have already decided. Everything else we're going to talk about is built on this one powerful insight. So that brings up the big question, doesn't it? If logic is out the window, what's left? If you really want to connect with someone or persuade them or lead them, you've got to have a totally different game plan. And Carnegie believed he found the one secret that unlocks the whole thing. And you know what? This secret, it's surprisingly simple, but it does require a pretty huge shift in how we usually see things. It's the foundation for every single technique in his playbook. This is it. This is the master key. Before you say a word, before you ask for a single thing, you have to stop and honestly, truly try to see the world through their eyes. It's all about flipping that switch in your brain from what do I want to what do they want? What are they seeing? And hey, how can our goals maybe line up? And we have to be super clear on this. This isn't some kind of trick to manipulate people. Carnegie is really specific that this only works if it's sincere. Come on, you can spot fake interest a mile away, right? So the whole thing has to come from a place of genuine curiosity and empathy for the other person. All right, so we've got the core secret down. How do we actually put it into practice? Let's start with the first, most basic goal, just getting people to like you. This is that big secret in action. I mean, think about it. What do most of us spend like 95% of our time thinking about? Ourselves. Carnegie says the fastest way to build a real connection is to get out of your own head and jump into theirs. Find out what they're passionate about, what problems they're trying to solve, and talk about that. This is such a perfect practical example. Imagine you're selling something. The amateur goes on and on about all the cool features their product has. But guess what? The customer doesn't care about features. They care about their problems. The pro talks about how those features solve the customer's specific problem. You see the shift? By focusing on their world, you arouse an eager want, as Carnegie called it. Okay, so people like you. That's a fantastic start. But what about when you actually need to persuade them, to win them over to your way of thinking? Let's see how Carnegie's method builds on this idea to create agreement. Carnegie actually snagged this one straight from the philosopher Socrates. The whole idea is to frame your conversation so you get a bunch of yes answers right from the get-go. Why? Well, psychologically, a no is like a wall going up. The person's whole body gets defensive. But a yes, that's an open door. It keeps them in this positive, agreeable frame of mind. And this just breaks it down so brilliantly. See, you don't start with what you disagree on. You start on common ground. You build this yes bridge. So by the time you actually get to your idea, it doesn't feel like a fight. It just feels like the natural, logical conclusion to a path you've both walked down together. And finally, let's talk about maybe one of the toughest challenges of all. How to change someone's behavior or give them criticism without making them angry or defensive. This is real leadership. Just think about the last time someone started a conversation with, "Hey, we need to talk about your performance." Your walls shot right up, didn't they? Of course they did. Carnegie says you've always got to start with genuine praise. It just sets a positive, collaborative mood, and it makes the other person way more open to what you have to say next. I mean, this quote from the book is just perfect, isn't it? The praise doesn't mean the drilling. The feedback doesn't happen. It just takes the pain out of it. It lets the person actually hear the criticism without feeling like they're being attacked. Oh, this is another huge one for anyone in a leadership role. Because let's be real, nobody likes to be told what to do. It just makes them feel unimportant. A direct order can create resentment almost instantly, even if it's the right call. This slide just shows the difference so clearly. Instead of yelling at employees about a no smoking sign, one famous manager, Charles Schwab, just handed them some cigars and said, "Fellas, I'll appreciate it if you smoke these outside." He got exactly what he wanted, and they respected him for how he did it. Asking, "Do you think that would work?" invites someone to be part of the solution. It's a suggestion, not a command. So, we've covered getting people to like you, persuading them, and leading them. But how do you take all this stuff and actually, use it in your real life? What's really wild to me is that these principles were written down way back in 1936. I mean, think about that. In our world of constant connection and, let's be honest, constant division, these ideas feel more important than ever. They've lasted because they're not about fads, they're about fundamental human nature. Look, if you take only one single thing away from all this, let it be this right here. In every conversation, your goal is to find that royal road. Stop thinking about what you're going to say next, or your big argument, or your agenda. Start thinking about what they care about. That is where all real connection begins. So, I'll leave you with a final thought. Think about a difficult conversation you've been putting off, or maybe just someone you want to connect with better. What do you think would happen if you went into it not with your agenda first, but with a genuine goal to just see their side of things? How might that one little shift change everything?